YouTube family, what's good? Jake Portalese here, back with another video, a little different this time. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 3 ways that I find personally are the best to increase longevity. Now, I'm actually out in the forest right here. Hear little birds going on, so take your notes out, take your pens and your papers and your pencils, start writing down. These are key, these are important. I'm actually excited to share them. So, the first one is an obvious one. A lot of these I would say are obvious, but we aren't really as aware of them and we don't really practice them. And that's the most important thing. We have to practice them. So number 1 is eat hard, healthy, nutrient-dense food. That's a lot to say, but that's important. Eat hard, healthy, nutrient-dense food. Okay, so what do I mean by hard, healthy, nutrient-dense food? If you look around today, a lot of things we eat, a lot of things we consume in today's society are processed. They're liquefied, okay? They go down easily. They actually don't allow us to build our jaw muscles, right? Our mandible, to strengthen it as our ancestors did, because they ate hard, raw foods like nuts, for example. Those are hard foods. You actually have to chew and work your muscles. We have things nowadays like smoothies, processed treats that can just easily go down, okay? Now, if you kind of look more into this, these aren't giving you as the proper nutrients and the correct nutrients as something like raw veggies would. Or let's look at fish, things that are more hard, healthy for you. These food groups are so obvious that I know a lot of you guys know it too. It's just making the conscious decision and the conscious choice to either buy it, which is the first step, and then consume it. So that's number 1, right? Choosing hard, healthy foods to make. And the cool thing about this, and the thing you can do to actually choose these groups, is have fun with making them, okay? So if you kind of have trouble with choosing these foods in the store and you're more drawn to choosing processed foods, what you can do is just create some kind of recipe, okay? An easy recipe, and make it fun. And that's the important thing. If you make a recipe fun and enjoyable, then you'll be more inclined to buy these kind of food groups in the store. Okay, and that's the first step. Getting the other things out of your pantry, out of your home, and then letting in the healthier, hard, dense, nutrient-dense food. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2. Okay, this one is obvious. Move your body, but specifically, I want to say, practice mobility. Okay, this thing I'm so huge on, especially yoga. I mean, they kind of are intertwining, right? Mobility and yoga. You are contorting your body. You're kind of becoming attuned with your body. So I would even say that. Number 2, along goes with it, is become more attuned with your body. Become more centered with who you are. Okay, so things you can do. A lot of things I do personally is I practice mobility. I have a lot of mobility workouts that I go through, and I try to do these every morning at least. I try to do a little mobility, but if I actually go through a specific mobility workout, I try to do this, or yoga, at least once or 2 times a week. So if you can really dedicate a serious workout 1 to 2 times a week, that goes along with your resistance training or endurance training or power strength training, whatever you have going on outside of that, if you can dedicate just 1 to 2 times a week some yoga, some mobility, that is serious training. Maybe it takes 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and you dedicate this to your body, this will improve longevity, okay? You're giving them joints a rest, and that's what we really need a lot of the times, okay? We need to give our joints a rest. Me specifically, when I don't do yoga, when I don't do mobility, a mobility routine, I find that I'm much weaker. I'm more stiff, and I want to feel open, and I want to be able to move my body in every single way. I actually always think of something that comes to my mind. The reason I really want to do mobility, obviously, it's number 1 is for me, for longevity. But another thing that comes to my mind, another reason, is I want to be able to pick up my kids, or I want to be able to pick up things that are in a tough spot when I'm older. Okay, when I'm older and I get a little weaker, I want to be able to move in different ways that normally you can't. So actually think of a reason to give yourself why you should be doing mobility or yoga. So I would write that down as well under the second tip. Why should I be doing this? How is it going to serve me? Okay, write down 2 reasons why you should be doing mobility or yoga 2 times a week. Okay, that's important. especially like I said, if you're doing resistance training, give your body a rest from all the heavy and strenuous lifting that you are doing. Okay, that was number 2. Number 3 is an interesting one. Number 3 is find something that de-stresses you, okay, that releases stress, because I feel like the number one reason why we decrease longevity is because we increase our stress. Okay, so we decrease our longevity because we're increasing our stress. Okay, there's so many stress hormones in the body and we can easily release these. So find a mode of practice that releases that stress. Okay, whether this is meditation, there are so many forms. For me, I would say my top 2 are meditation. Even though meditation at times can be harder to release that stress, my second and I would probably put this at number 1, to be honest, is being in nature where I'm at now. If I come by water, if I come by some sort of, peace, birds, you can hear all this around you. It reminds you that all the external is there to stay. You have to come back to the internal and heal the internal first, okay? So just the calming of the water, calming of the birds, the breeze, the trees, you see all this and it just reminds me to release that stress. So this could be anything for you. It could be going to the beach. It could be hanging out with your friends, taking a little break, Find your own mode of practice that heals your body. This honestly might be one of the biggest ones in decreasing longevity, okay? Or increasing longevity is to decrease your stress. Okay, so those are 3 simple ways that you can increase your own longevity, right? The first one, to recap, we had eat hard, healthy, nutrient-dense food, okay? Things like nuts, okay? Anything like raw veggies. Even if you cook them raw veggies and throw a little seasoning in it. Number 2, okay? Number 2, we said move our body. Mobility yoga. I have a bunch of mobility routines on my Instagram. I'll link that in the description below if you want to check that out. Yoga, you can find many follow-along yogas on YouTube, other various sites, okay? Do that at least 1 to 2 times, maybe even 3 times a week if you like. The final one, find something to de-stress you, release that stress so you can increase your longevity. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. I hope you were taking notes and I hope you got some good takeaways from this. If you did, make sure to smash that subscribe button, pump up that like button. Love y'all, each and every one of y'all. See y'all in the next video. Stay happy, stay healthy out there. Peace, y'all.